Hello and welcome to Transmission. I'm Nate, and tonight I'm joined by Dee. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Dee, so you're from FTM Shed.
Yep.
Would you mind sort of telling us a little bit about what FTM Shed is?
Well, the FTM Shed is a great support gathering. We meet once a month and we cover different subjects on what it is to transition into a guy, because, you know, there's many subjects we don't know about. Sure, you can Google, but, you know, there's something personal about sharing experiences. So we've, you know, created the FTM Shed, and, you know, we come together and we hang out and we talk about stuff that we don't know, like shaving and stuff. Which is a big one, because when you want to put a blade to your face, you kind of really should know what you're doing.
And one day I'll be able to utilise that lesson.
Sure, and, you know, one day.
One day, yeah.
And, you know, and we just share experiences, really, and it's beautiful, because we can talk openly, because I think one of the things that we forget is transitioning. We go from talking a lot about a lot to not so much. You know, we minimise our talking and the way we verbalise things. And we tend to have been brought up that, you know, guys don't talk. And so the Shed kind of has changed that. So we get to voice it. Yeah,
so it's similar to, I suppose, people might be familiar with like a men's shed type thing. Is it similar to that?
Well, the men's shed, I'm not sure about. I've not actually been to one. But I'm guessing kind of, you know. I think we've just got a lot more to cover. They already know how to shave and stuff, where, you know, we don't. And it's different body languages and it's different vocabulary, and, you know, and it brings up a whole range of new stuff that we have to learn and grow into. And it's not so simple. So the Shed actually provides this amazing space. We have a Facebook private page where, you know, even if you're in doubt, you can put a question up that may sound stupid, and, you know, all of us will comment going, yeah, I wondered that too, or, oh, I had this experience, you know, and we get to just relate it. And it gives that thing of, you're not the only one, you know, because when I transitioned, there wasn't anybody for me to talk to, you know, and that's hard. That's hard, because, as you know, it's not easy.
No, it's
not.
Not.
It's just like, well, you know. So it's just been an amazing part of my journey. Amazing part, and I'm very grateful for it.
So, I mean, so in terms of, your own sort of, when you decided to transition and all that sort of stuff, is that I know that you sort of owned your own business when you decided to transition.
Correct.
So how did that go in terms of...
Oh, gosh. You know, it's really funny. I had my own business from a very young age. At that stage, I was supposedly straight. And then during a period of time, of course, I came out as a lesbian. Now, that was okay, you know, and most people actually didn't have a problem with that. And because in the building industry as a female, most women loved it. So, you know, their husbands would go, we need to get blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we'll get, you know, because I was female, they felt comfortable, blah, blah, blah. I've never advertised my business. It's always been word of mouth. So when I started transitioning in a small country town, it wasn't so lovely. It wasn't so easy. And those that I worked for were comfortable enough with me being a lesbian because it wasn't so confronting to them, I think. But me physically changing and transitioning to male was hard for them to handle. And that made it hard for me to handle because they stopped giving me work. So I pretty well nearly lost everything, choosing to transition. But you know what, as hard as it was, and as difficult as it was, would I take it back? No, never in a million years. I think sometimes we're just unaware of all of the circumstances in the things that we need to do for ourselves, and that was one for me. So I moved down to Melbourne. I was lucky to have some amazing support people around me that kind of pretty well covered my ass for a while.
Yeah.
Until things slowly picked back up in Melbourne, and they have done.
Yeah.
And now I'm back to working like an idiot again that I swore I'd never do.
Yeah. Which, why not?
And, ultimately because I'm a trans guy now.
Yeah.
So really at the end of the day, my work hasn't changed.
Yeah. But
the people around me have.
Slightly off that, when you started taking testosterone, did work get a little bit easier?
Oh, hell yeah. Luckily for me, I was fairly strong physically because I'd done labouring work and building work all of my life. So I started off in floor sanding, and that was at 16. So you try floor sanding. It's not light work.
Yeah.
My floor sander was 267 pounds. Huge.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Yeah. As a doctor, I'm glad that you know the difference.
Pounds. Pounds.
So I would have to pick that thing up and put it in the back of the ute.
Yeah.
So I was fairly strong. The minute I started tea, oh my God. Apart from 3 inches across the shoulders in a very short period of time, a sheet of plaster was really light.
Yep.
It was cool. And just little things like being able to go a lot longer with, using a power drill and one-armed.
Yeah.
Where before I would have to hold, 2 ants. So I was like, nice, now I know why guys do it easier.
Yeah.
All in a hormone. Yeah,
Excellent.
Definitely. Loved it.
Cool.
Love it.
So outside of sort of building, outside of FTM Shed, what sort of stuff do you like to sort of get up to?
Well, outside of that, my other interest is leather, which is, a part of, I suppose, the BDSM world. So I'm involved, or pretty well involved, in the leather community within Melbourne and part of the US. And I go to different places that run leather contests, master-slave leather contests. I have all my leathers that I love dearly, but it's not about that. The leather to me is about my living values.
Yeah.
It's about how I present myself and uphold myself, and I like to hold myself high in my integrity and my honesty and my values. And to me, that's what the leather's about. So
cool. We're actually running out of time. Just as
and
we're
I
about
didn't
to
get to interview you.
I know. Maybe next time.
All right.
So look, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for asking me.
No worries. So big thanks to Dee. You've been watching Transmission.